Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creatively on Sunday, 14 March 2021 with FLOSSTUBE number 67? Sure, let's go with 67. Welcome to my FLOSSTUBE, aka YouTube, about mostly cross stitch. Sometimes there's a little less cross stitch and a little more other random stuff. I do have a little bit to show today. I had a more productive week, a more varied week, and I have a little bit of new stuff to show, so that's exciting. Beautiful, beautiful day here today. Bit chilly this morning. I got up early, went to the supermarket. I needed to get some butter so that I can make some friands later on today. I'm going to take some and give some to make some baking for some friends. And I've got excess eggs because a colleague from work gave me some eggs from their chickens. I don't know what to do with all the yolks though. A batch of friands use 5 egg whites, and I'm probably gonna make 2 batches, so I'm gonna have 10 egg yolks. Yeah, I don't know. I think you can freeze them, but not really freeze them in oil. I have to have a look at it. I don't want to throw 10 egg yolks down the gurgler. Yeah, I don't know, but it's nice to add an egg yolk to say to a bechamel or something that makes it a bit richer, but gotta have 10. Gotta have 10 egg yolks anyway. I'll solve that little drama later. Yeah, been a nice weekend. My friend Carolyn came around yesterday. We went out for lunch at Brewtown and then came back to my place, we had a couple of gins and did a little bit of stitching and watched the America's Cup yacht racing. So we had a really chill, fun evening. So I think that's the first time I've had a stitchy friend around to do stitching. So it was pretty fun and it was a nice afternoon. I talked to Dad yesterday. He's doing okay. I go up there in a week and a half. My stepmother's not doing so good. Unfortunately, she has Alzheimer's, for people late to the party, and is in a dementia ward over at Hopi Beach. But her cognitive decline continues, and unfortunately, she has been getting a bit aggressive, and the psychiatrist has been trying to manage with meds and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Dad's waiting to talk to the psychiatrist about what options there might be, but possibly it's getting close to when she might have to go into a more secure facility with more staff who can help us look after her, because she needs a lot of help to do things like to get dressed and to have a shower and stuff. She just doesn't really play nicely. Like, she gets a bit aggressive, so it's really sad. Anyway, it'll be nice for Dad to have a little break, but yeah, not very good news there. The ongoing saga of trying to get quotes for my little bit of landscaping. I finally had I've had a couple of quotes for concrete in the past to get a concrete patio done, but one was from the contractor who did the drive and paths as part of my build, and he did a really shit job. In fact, it's still a bit unresolved there, in that I'm not happy. I was never happy when it was handed over, and it's been 2.5 years, and it's one of those things where I just don't have the energy and time to battle the building company, and them telling me that they don't use that guy anymore and that they've taken him to court. It doesn't really help when I've got a really, really ugly driveway and cracked paths, and I mean my paths cracked within 6 weeks of me getting the house, and my driveway and my paths all have what's called a pinto effect, so it looks like a pinto horse. Anyway, I have had a couple of quotes. So I got one from a guy who was on there's a site over here called No Cowboys, so you can go and have a look at people give reviews on different trades, and he's got really good reviews and he's available. Came round when he said he would, gave me a quote. When he said he would, I've just gone back with a couple of questions about tinting options, because the white concrete can be quite glaring, so a bit of a tint might take the glare off but also help minimise any uneven colouring. But yeah, I'm pretty confident. He said he's available in a couple of weeks, so I'm pretty confident that if I confirm this week coming, sort of after Easter, I'll be able to get my patio down, which will be great. And then there'll be less grass to go as well. So I'm quite excited about getting that done. I guess that's all the life stuff. I've made a couple of little purchases. Art and Frame in Christchurch. For any of you Kiwi girls and boys who may have missed out on seeing their update on the New Zealand Facebook, what's it called? New Zealand Cross Stitch group on Facebook. Art and Frame are now going to be stocking Week Style Works fabrics. Hopefully they'll continue to expand, but they'd got quite a bit in, so I messaged them and got some information about what they had, and I picked up 3, I guess, fat quarters. So I've got just some nice neutrals. So Aspen, which I really like. It is definitely a touch greenish, but compared to beige, which is definitely beige. And the other one I got, so they were Aspen's in 36, beige was in 40, because they didn't have it, I just grabbed whatever they had, and straw in 36 count, which is nice. So yeah, it's nice. I've only ever used Havana from Week Style Works, so it's quite cool. So a bit of fabric for the stash, which I enjoy. I also have put in an order. I've ordered 3 charts from Création Isabelle Vautier. Anyone who watches Jan Hicks Creates may have seen in a couple of her work parades over the years a piece that she is stitching on called Sur la route des Indes, so on the road to India, and it's a horizontal sampler with Indian motifs, and it's got a quote from Gandhi both in Hindi at the bottom in script and in French. So I ordered that because I just love it. I won't do it as a red sampler, but I don't know what I'll do it in. And then a couple of other samplers from her monochromatic section on her website. I'll put the link somewhere, probably down the doobly-doo, if anyone is interested in having a look there. You can convert the website to English, in the browser. But all of your tracking information that you get, or not tracking, but the information about it being sent, update emails will be in French, but it's okay. You can either work it out or shove it into translate on French to English translation. And I had a look, anyone on Etsy, X, Counting the Stars X, again I'll put the site down below. She's got 15% off her charts for Mother's Day. I'm not sure where it's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day in New Zealand in May, so I don't know just said for Mother's Day she's got 15% off, I don't know, maybe for the weekend. So yeah, her charts are pretty inexpensive, but if you want to grab 15% off. Just a reminder for people on Etsy, if you can avoid when you buy, on Etsy they've started doing a lot of ads, they'll promote things as ads. If you click on one of the ads and then you proceed to buy that or anything else I believe that you add as that part of that purchase, they take a massive commission, like 40% or something, on top of whatever fees they normally charge. So if you can avoid buying through the ads, if you see something you like, take a note of the name or the designer or the shop and then go and search for that shop and then go from there, because those ads are just taking so much money off of retailers. I guess PDFs aren't so bad in that it doesn't cost to produce a PDF, but it's still like when you're paying $6 for a PDF and then potentially Etsy's going to take half of that, it's just too much money. That's too much. When they're not actually doing anything, when they say they're advertising, they're just running some program that picks stuff out and populates it, you know, obviously based on your searches. So they're just kind of getting money for jam, really. So anyway, that was just in case people don't realise. I mean, fair enough that they take some fees. I mean, like cover their web hosting and their development or that, like a small commission, but not for unwanted advertising. Advertising that the seller has not negotiated to pay for, you know, it's uncommissioned, non-commissioned advertising. And then they take a massive fee, which I think is just not good. I know a number of sellers, you know, bigger designers, I guess, have gone away from using Etsy, which is fair enough. However, for some smaller shops or people who are doing it as a hobby, they can't afford the time and effort. So Etsy's taking advantage, I think. Anyway, that's my soapbox. I'll get off it now. So yeah, got some new fabric, got a couple of charts coming, and I probably will go on and buy 2 or 3 charts, PDFs from Counting the Stars, because I quite like some of her designs, and you know, $4 New Zealand, $5 New Zealand, not too bad. If I never stitch them, it doesn't matter. Right, I think that's everything that I've bought. Oh, I have had a couple of FLOSSTUBE. Judith, who, again, the New Zealand Cross Stitch group people will know, Judith makes the odd bag and floss ring and stuff. She has recently, so Judith does a bit of fundraising for Outboard, which is a rescue rehome abandoned kitty cats in the Wellington region. So anytime Judith is selling a cat themed item on the Facebook group, usually that is to, I think it always is to raise money for Outboard. So recently Judith popped up some floss rings, so I bought 3. So I don't have them yet because I don't want her to courier them when we live across town, and I'm going to see her after Easter, but I'll have those after Easter, so I'm very excited about cute little cat themed floss rings. Okay, stitching. So last week, you may recall, I had done a big chunk of the house on Emily's house. I had a bit of roof still to do, and the moon and the sun, and I thought, you know what, I'm so close that I may as well just go ahead and finish it. So I finished Emily's house. I finished it on Monday. Because the roof and the roof, even though it's a pattern, it's still a checker pattern. So, you know, once I had all the outline, so I just had to fill in, and I filled in the mustard, and there is an error on. I did make a couple of changes that was supposed to be two. It's meant to be one row higher, but I wasn't going to unpick it. I don't really care. It's one. The crow is a little bit lower than he would be on the chart, and I am pretty pleased with it. I added my personalisation down there under the house, just my initials and an apostrophe, and then 21. It is 21. Oh yeah, 2021. Yeah. So that is Emily's house. It's so sweet. I'm very happy with it. So that is Emily's house from Lindy Stitches. I stitched it on 36 count parchment from Victorian Motto Sampler Shoppe. I did a partial conversion, DMC and overdyes. But a lot of the conversions that I did are with Victorian Motto. So unless you have it's not really that useful me sharing my conversion when, yeah, a good half of them were Victorian Motto, and you won't probably have them because you have to have been collecting them for quite a while. Started it on the 24th of January and I finished it on the 8th of March. Apparently I can't even spare a full one with 21, but that's alright. There we go, 2021. So yeah, that will go into the pile for finishing. And I don't know if anyone else is trying to get things framed, but my framer, and I've also rung around a couple of other framers, and I've talked to even Art and Frame in Christchurch, all experience the same thing because we get all of our framing stock from overseas and they are really struggling to get any stock in. So I know both my local framer and Art and Frame both sort of said the same thing. As long as you're not fussy and you're just kind of happy with black or white or like a handful of frames that they've got access to, and then sure, but we just have to be patient, and I am fussy. So if I don't get a real feeling when I am looking at a frame, I won't get it. So I've got to find the right frame. So that's just going to take a while until it's just one of those things that the struggling so our framers in New Zealand get most of their stock from the UK and America, and they just and they don't sort of carry it all the time. So they tend to order what you pick rather than having lots and lots of stock on hand. So it's just how it is. So I don't know when. I've had something in to get framed since September. So I have rung and they just said they're just waiting for a frame. They can't even get, my local framer said even matte supplies are really in glass. Just, she's got things laced, and everyone during lockdown went through, just found stuff to get framed. She said they're inundated with work and they just can't finish anything, which is a bit worrying because they don't get paid until they finish it, right? So anyway, it is not the end of the world for us, but it is frustrating, and I would like to keep getting the odd thing framed, but I sort of said to my I can't remember her name, but the local framer, given that they're waiting so long, should I bring in quite a few things and get them sort of pick frames and get them ordered? And she said no, they just can't handle having all the stock, and just not until we know, some of those things may never come back on the market. For all we know, one of the suppliers in the UK might go under, so they won't get those frames anymore. So she said just best to wait until things start moving again. Anyway, that was full of joy and light, wasn't it? But it's just what it is. I don't know what it's like it's just where we live. Anyway, moving on to cheerier things. So that was my one finish, and now I've got 3 whips to show you. 2 of them are finishes for now, as in they're sales and I'm up to date. So first up, I picked up my Bottom Folk Embroidery, the Fruit of Plenty. from, I already said Modern Folk Embroidery, which I'm stitching on 40 count Toitoi linen from Country Stitch using DMC 1/2. Started this on the 2nd of January, basically the day it was released because we're a little bit ahead. And I finished the March block, which is the one over here. Kind of went down a little bit where I had a bit of extra thread. Just carried on because I know that that little triangle is symmetrical. Yeah, I'm very much enjoying it. And what are we now? A quarter of the way there. Crazy. I do love this colour linen. It's a lovely cream, but it's not too yellow. It's so pretty. That's the Toitoi. So that is a finish for now because I am up to date with it. And this, then I picked up the Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts Sense and Sensibility sale book club. I think there's only 3 parts to this. Yeah, part 3 will come out 27th of March. I'm stitching this on 28 count Ice Blue Lugana that I think I got in a D-stash with a call for DMC. Started this on the 26th of February. I was a little bit late deciding to join, but it's very small. It's a very small piece. It's way smaller than the Pride and Prejudice sale. Oh, it looks terrible. I'll take it off. So that is where that is at. Very pretty. And that's the top done. So yeah, it's not going to be very big at all. Didn't take me very long. So that is that one. And then yesterday, when Carolyn came around, I thought, well, what am I going to stitch on where I can chat and be distracted and not cock anything up? So I picked up Sunrise. I'm just stitching the big one, and which I'm stitching on 20 count Aida Soleil from Tom and Lily Creations, again a French designer, French dyer on Etsy. And my floss is a mess, but I don't care. And I started this on the 22nd of December last year, and I yesterday worked on pretty much purple here. Basically all of this bit's new, kind of on this diagonal and this bit here. So I got kind of a lot of this this purple around here done yesterday, including that big long chunk there. And then last night and this morning I filled in the rest of that. So there's a couple little gaps still to go in here, but this is halfway point here. So I reckon I'm over 1/8. I'm probably, yeah. So that is all of my stitching for the week. So quite a good week. That's what I did. I think that I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to give away Emily's house, so I pass the stash. I will leave this open for a couple of weeks. And all the normal giveaway rules. Please be a subscriber, be allowed to give me your details, be able to give me your details, e.g. your address. I will do a random comment picker thingy in a couple of weeks, and you need to, in your comment, you need to mention something about house. So whether, just mention something about a house, your favourite house, your dream house, a haunted house, a mouse in a house, whatever. Just mention house, and I'll leave it open for a couple of weeks, and I'll draw a winner, and I'll post it anywhere. Keep in mind, if it's going overseas, it could take several weeks to get to you. If you're in New Zealand, it probably will only take a week to get to you. So yeah, if you're interested in stitching that, put house in your comment. Thank you, and I will pass the stash for that. I do have the Berry Bowl sampler still to give away, but I'm going to save that. I'm taking that to the Christchurch retreat in May, and I'll put on the giveaway table there or something. Or I don't know. But I just will save that for the people going to the retreat as a bit of a, but I gave all my other stash away with the Wellington one. So I don't have piles of stuff to donate, so I thought it'd be quite nice to pop that on the table there, and I might put a few of those unicorn vomit silks on the table as well, because they're just too much. Anyway, we'll see. It'll be nice to put a couple of nice things on the table, not just rashy old crap from the, from the attic. Not saying that, but you know what I mean. Some newer stuff. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for checking in. Thanks in advance for your comments and kind words and support. And I'm going to be a good girl and take some pictures ready to put on the Show Us Your Whips tomorrow on the New Zealand stitching, what's it called? New Zealand cross stitch group on Facebook. Enjoy your stitching, be safe, have a good week, and as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.